Hey YouTube, what's up? So I finally got the SI bracket. Got it on eBay. It was like $74. Got shipped pretty quick, so it's gonna go over here. There we go. So it's gonna sit like that. That's how the motor's gonna be going on. My dog wants to help out. But now I'm having just one issue. I'm almost done fixing it. Let me show you real quick. So this is an eBay motor mount, and the holes don't line up on this. Let me show you. I'm right now stretching the holes out. I'm shaving it off. I've been using a filer, but now I'm using my drill with the step bit, and I'm just drilling the hole out because they don't fit on here, which really sucks. So be careful when you buy these mounts. They might not match up right away, so you might have to modify it. So I gotta modify all the rest. Look like they're fitting. That one fits good. I'm using super view mode so you can see a lot more. So if you don't like this view, just let me know down in the comments and I'll try out wide view or linear again. Alright, so right now I'm getting all the transmission ready. I got the new throwout bearing, and where's the pilot bearing? Oh, it's right on it. The hole's covered up, but I take all these out. What I'm gonna do is I'm probably gonna move my D series. I'm gonna just lift it off of here, put it on the floor like over here somewhere, so I can put this down and start putting the clutch and everything in. And then I want to also try to get this taken apart too later on. But for now, my goal is just to get this inside there. All right, stay tuned. All right, so I'm gonna be replacing this. This is the throwout bearing right here, and I want to shoot it here. Hold on, let me put it back on here. But I don't know if you can hear that. It's pretty bad. This might be the original on here, so I do have a new one, which is right here. But first, I actually want to clean this transmission up, so I'm gonna use a Scotch-Brite pad on it and just go over the whole thing, because as you can see right here, I went over it with this. I used a Scotch-Brite, cleaned it all really nice. I sprayed some Rust-Oleum paint on it just to protect it so it doesn't rust again. But looking really good. The bearing's perfect on it. Barely any play on that, so that's nice. So now what I want to try to get done is put on a new throwout bearing. I want to clean up the transmission, try to get all this nasty looking stuff off. And yeah, stay tuned. Alright guys, so I'm trying to put on this mount. Bought on eBay, came as a set of 3. Those two they went in fine. This one did not. I had to drill the holes out bigger, as you can see. I had to use a step bit. The holes did not line up. It was off by like a small amount, like a thread hair basically, and I could not get the bolt on there, and I did not want to strip it. So, but now I got it. After drilling it slowly, I was taking my time because I don't want it to get too thin, as you can see. But it's pretty thick metal. It took a while. I had to charge the battery like 3 times. It's a cheap Walmart drill though, but finally got it. So yeah, I'll show you when the bolts are all in. And then next is going to be putting on the rear SI bracket. Well, I think I'm going to put that on the tranny first. But yeah. Alright, that mount's now bolted up. That one's bolted. This one I just gotta go get the bolt that goes through here, but I'm not putting that in until this is gonna go on the motor. So I'm gonna drop the motor in with that on. So now I'm gonna prepare the clutch so we can drop the motor in with the tranny. Alright, so I put the D series on I guess a roll cart so I can move it around. I put the distributor on now. It's like an aftermarket, but it's brand new, so it came with it. I'm now going to get this and then put it down over there so I can start putting the clutch in. And all the motor mounts are in the car. I just got to get the throwout bearing in. And yeah, oh, and I'm also looking for another bolt. I'm missing a bolt for the, what's that, right here, for the motor mount. I can't find it now. So yeah, sucks. But yeah, I'm going to start working on the clutch now. I'm going to raise it, put it down over there, and then go from there. Okay, got the motor down. The transmission fluid spilled out from my D series. But so here's the brand new clutch. There's the flywheel. This is the stock integra flywheel, I believe. So it's a 17 millimeter. I think they call it a 13 point. So that's what you'll have to be using. So my neighbor already replaced the rear main seal bearing, as you can see. It's brand new. He changed the water pump and the oil pump. The oil pump as well is brand new. So that's pretty nice. It's got a new timing belt, oil pump, water pump. So that's all been replaced. I am gonna have to take the head off anyways. I'm gonna be doing ARP head studs. But yeah, so now I'm gonna put on the flywheel and then we can go from there. And I'm putting on the new bearing. So this bearing still feels really nice. It doesn't have any grinding. It's really smooth. So I think I'm just gonna leave it in there. Alright, so stay tuned. Okay, so now I got the flywheel on. I sanded down, well I didn't sand it, but I used the Scotch-Brite. Just clean the edge best as you can all the way around. That whole thing was like looking like this, so you want this to be nice and clean. Spray it with some brake cleaner. And now you want to tighten your bolts down. It's a 17 millimeter, 13 point. You want to go across, so you want to go like that. So tighten it all the way down. Just go by factory specs. I'm not sure how many pounds it was. I just make it tight as I can, so yeah. Just don't break it. Alright, so now we're going to be putting on the clutch. So you want to make this, the race part, see how it's raised? Face like this. You want that facing the transmission. And then the flat part will be facing the motor. So I gotta hold my GoPro like this. I'm gonna put this just like this. Fit it through. Alright, there you go. Look at that. So you want that lined up like that. Then you're gonna grab your pressure plate. Brand new. Alright, so as you can see, these have like these little pins sticking out. You want to line the pressure plate up with this. Don't force it or you'll mess it up. So I'm going to try to do that now. I'll try to balancing my GoPro on my leg. Okay. Alright, so that's not it. There we go. Perfect. Okay. Then the fun part. I'm gonna go get my stand for the GoPro so I don't have to try to balance it. So give me one sec, guys. Alright, you guys. So I am actually gonna be torquing this down. I just want to be safe. So I'm using my torque wrench, bought it from Harbor Freight. It's a 17 millimeter. It's called a 12 point. I thought it was a 13, but it's a 12. So I'm gonna set it right now to first 19 foot-pounds, and we're gonna go in the cross pattern. So give me 1 second. So as you can see, it's just right under the 20. It's gonna be hard for you to see, but there's like a number 20 right there. So I'm gonna start top left, so I'm gonna go right here, then down here. Basically just cross pattern. And you're gonna just wanna keep going across, you know? Alright, so stay tuned. I'm gonna go 19 all the way around, and then I'll show you the next step. And in order to keep it from spinning, I'm gonna be using a skinny screwdriver. Just stick it through somewhere. I'll stick it through here. Once you rotate it over, it should lock right there. So now I'm gonna tighten it down, 19 foot-pounds, and you should hear it click. Okay, now 38. shit. Are these the right one? Alright guys, I got a lesson learned right here. So this motor used to be automatic, and these were the bolts that came with it. As you can see it says AT. These are not the right bolts. They are way too short. You have to use a manual flywheel bolts, because on the automatic they're thinner, from what my neighbor was telling me, and I almost used the wrong one, so I had to take them all back out. So I'm now torquing them down. Right now I'm at 19 foot-pounds, so I'm re-torquing everything. So make sure you use the right flywheel bolts, because these are not the right ones. You have to use the manual flywheel bolts, not the automatics. They're too short. These are a lot longer. So now I'm re-torquing everything back to 19 foot-pounds, and after that I'll get back to the clutch install again. Okay, this is all torqued down. It went from 19, then 37, then 57, and then I went all the way down to 80 foot-pounds. So don't forget, just go across and should be fine. So now I'm going to be putting in the clutch. And remember, again, you want this side, the side that's raised up, to face the transmission. The flat side will face the clutch. And don't forget to make sure you wipe off the area with any fingerprints. Want to make sure it's all clean. So I always spray with some like brake cleaner. Make sure it's all clean. So then you want to line up your bearing. Make sure you replace the bearing if you haven't already. It's pretty easy. Just put a socket over it, pop it out, put the new one in, and tap it in with the socket that's oversized that can go around the metal ring. Don't hit the black part. That's the weather seal part. But anyways, put the clutch in. Just like that. Look at that. So pretty. Then you want to grab your pressure plate. And like before, you can see these little pins. Just stick them on there, line them up. Be careful. Like so. Okay. Alright. Okay. That looks nice. Yeah, perfect. Okay. Now, remember, don't use those automatic tranny bolts. Now you're going to put in your 10 millimeters. These are 12 points as well. So make sure everything is all lined up. Should be like 6 total. 3 top, 3 bottom. Alright, so I'm going to put all these in, and then I'll show you the next step. And that's where we're going to be torquing. Alright YouTube, I'm going to show you a little trick, because I don't have a 10 millimeter 12 point. I have a wrench though, and it's a 10 millimeter. And if you know, most I think it's ½ inch. Most ½ inches fit 10 sockets perfect. So look at that. So I already have this torqued down from 5 foot-pounds to 8, and now it's all the way down to 19. I always go a little extra, so right now I have it set for 22 pounds. So I put it like this, or you can just put it up a little higher. Just get it at the angle where you can get it on the bolt. So down 19 foot-pounds. I'm gonna actually connect that in the transmission, and yeah, we're pretty much almost ready to drop the motor in. Then the fun part is the wiring. I know everyone's waiting for that part. Me too. I still got to get spark plug wires and the axles. So the axles can be from, they said, 94 to 2000, I believe, Integras, or a 99 to 2000 Civic SI, which is probably where I'm going to go. I'm going to get a Civic SI axles. But stay tuned, guys. I'm going to finish now torquing this down, and then we're going to get the tranny on probably tomorrow morning. It's getting pretty late now, as you can see. But yeah, stay tuned. Alright YouTube, so now I'm going to be changing out the throwout bearing. The original one is pretty old and it's shot. So yeah, it's pretty rough. And here's my brand new one. So we're going to be installing this. So you want to take out your fork, which is right here. It'll just pop out. You're going to want to put some high temp grease in here. Also in here, I cleaned this out. And put some on this right here as well. And then when you put it in, I have to go get some high temp grease, but I'm just going to show you how to put this together. So you see the throwout bearing? It has like these little grooves, these little notches. Just want to slide that in there like this, and basically it just locks in there, and that's how it lets it rotate. So Okay, there it is. Now I'll put this in there. Should just pop in. There it goes. Take your throwout bearing. You want to put your high temp grease also along this, because you don't want this to be making noise. Like I said, I'm gonna go get some high temp grease tomorrow. It's pretty late right now, but pull it out a little bit like this. Slide this in and just work it back on. There you go. And now when you push it, the little ball in here will push out. Alright, you guys. So I decided I'm going to take the wiring harness out, because I figured out that it's going to be a lot easier to hook up the wires and everything when this is out. So I'm going to unplug these two 10mm bolts and then unplug the harness from the inside of where the ECU is, and I'm going to pull this all through. That way I can start wiring this to the motor. It's a lot easier then. Alright, stay tuned. I'm just going to take this off. So I used a 10mm socket with an extension. That's loose right up here. So now I'm going to go inside the car. Unplug this bad boy. So give me a second, I'll put you down right here. And we can see this. Push down one. Push down two. Oh, there's one more. Okay. Oh fuck, I forgot. They spliced this thing. So I want to unplug it from everything. I'm gonna have to cut these wires. Yep. Okay, so whatever this wire is, whatever the previous owner had on here, I think this is the alarm. So I'm gonna just cut it. Might be able to just pull it, but I'm gonna split these wires now so I can pull the harness through. Alright, now I'm pulling the wire through. Just feed it through. Be easy with it, you don't want to break nothing. Alright, right at the last pieces. I'm gonna have to pull out like one clip at a time. I'm gonna use both hands so I don't fight. So I almost forgot. Don't forget to take it off the fuse box as well. So it's gonna be these wires right here. So it's a Phillips. Let me get a better Phillips. Alright, got a better Phillips now. So take this wire out and the other one as well. Try not to lose anything. And I'll put the bolt back in there so I don't lose it. The fuse box is all done. Alright. And then just take off this one as well. Don't forget where you put them. So you'll see this one has like a tab on it. See that? And only one side has it on the box. As you see right here. Has that little slot right here. That's for this. So if you somehow mix that up, I have no idea how you're gonna do that, but just don't mix them. Don't lose none of your bolts. I just did right there almost. Alright, now your harness is going to be able to be completely pulled out. And now the fun starts. Now we're going to have to figure out where the wiring goes and cut some wires, because some of the wires are going to be different from obdi 2 to obdi 1. Alright, stay tuned guys. Okay, so I'm taking the harness out of the B18. Yeah. And we're gonna then start getting the wires that we need. So I need also the alternator plug. I'm gonna match it up with mine. So we gotta change that all out. See, looks like someone already worked on this before. So yeah, but we gotta swap these over to this one. And I gotta change the temperature sensors and all that stuff as well. So this should be fun. So I got the harness out. Had to take off the rear bracket. Now I got the B series over there, and then the D series right here. All you have to do is remove this bracket, and then you can pull the harness out. Just feed it through, and then we'll go to the next step. Alright, you guys. So now you can see I got the D series harness right here. I know it's kind of messy right now. I'm trying my best, but my first time doing wiring. I got some snips. I had these for quite a while. These were my dad's back when I was in Chicago. So these are pretty old, but they never let me down, and they work pretty good. So now what I'm gonna start doing is basically I lay them like how they are. So this will be like the connector to the driver's side to connect the harness up there. And this is the alternator right here. So I'm gonna do the alternator first. Look like I said, someone cut this already. They did a horrible job. So I'm gonna try to save it. So I'm gonna cut the wires. Probably gonna pull some back and put some fresh wires. I'm gonna cut it from there, from the B series. That way we can put the obdi one. Kind of want to keep this plug too, so I'm gonna try to cut it like right here. So if I ever go back to like a 98 or 96 and up integra alternator, I can just use this plug. So I'm gonna definitely want to save this. So first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to pull this loom apart, peel it back, and then I got some extra rolls of electrical tape so I can roll it back up so it doesn't have any wires exposed. So I'm gonna try to fix this up because this is just nasty. This is ghetto. I don't like this. Usually you want to use shrink wraps and all this. So yeah, all right, stay tuned guys. All right you guys, so I pulled the plug apart. Here's the wires. So now we're gonna put this on the other one over there. So let me get the other harness over here. I'm gonna save this, like I said, I'm gonna save it for when I do swap back over to an obdi alternator. So keep your plug if you want to ever do that again. So now I'm gonna grab this other harness, same thing. I'm gonna peel the electrical tape off. And I'm gonna probably cut it like right here because I want to let some extension on it. It's better to have it longer than shorter. So, all right, stay tuned. All right, guys. So I'm peeling back now. Electrical tape. Peel all the way off. Get those wires exposed. Don't do like what people do and cut it really short. Get some length, at least half of it, so at least you have something to work with. Really sucks when people do that. So now I'm gonna cut these wires. Cut it about right there, looks good. That's why I love these things. Then you're gonna take your wires, strip them a bit. That way you have something to work with. And just strip them, just like that. Do it to all of them. And then I'm gonna show you how you wire them up to the existing D series. So let's go. Alright, so now to match up your wiring. So here's my original one that goes on the D series. This is the obdi one for the alternator. So when you look at the wires, you see they're different colors, right? So what I looked up online, I've been researching a lot. They say what you do is you just rotate this like this and just match up the colors like that. So whatever the green and brown was is going to go with the white and yellow. So green and brown, which is this one, with the white and yellow. So I'm going to do that right now, and then I'm going to tape it all up. And then we're going to go to the next part where it is, I think it's the temperature sensor. But yeah, stay tuned. Alright YouTube, let me get this camera to focus real quick. Of course it doesn't want to. Alright, so I'm going to do manual. Alright, so my GoPro died, so I'm using now my Canon. But anyways, I want to show you the wiring. So from the D series harness, it's going to go white red with the full blue on obdi1 connector, and then it's going to go to black, I believe that's black yellow, with the black yellow on the obdi1, and then white blue with the white blue. I don't know if you can see this, let me just, so white blue with white blue. The wire's really dirty. And then you want the green, the white green right here, to the white yellow. I don't know if you'll be able to see that, it's hard to see kind of, but yeah, that's how it goes. So just like this, white red with full blue, black yellow with black yellow, white blue with white blue, green white with the white yellow. And now I'm going to tape these up individually, and then I'm going to wrap the tape around it, make a nice little clean loom. Alright, stay tuned. So now I'm just going to, as you can see, just like that, nice and tight. Now I'm just going to roll it up. So now the alternator part is done. Now we're gonna go to the temperature sensors and all that stuff. I'm gonna save this later for when I ever have to swap back. So this looks like it's all my, yeah, here's what I'm looking for right here. So we're gonna have to get rid of this orange wire. Alright, let me focus for you guys. Sorry, the camera doesn't like to autofocus for some reason, even when I set it on. So this orange wire right here, we're gonna be getting rid of this. We're going to a 2-wire sensor. So I'll show you that right now, so give me 1 sec. Alright, so my GoPro's kind of charged, only got like 30%, but so now I'm working on the iacy, iacv, the idle control valve. I already cut the wire. My last video died, so what you want to do is match up the black and yellow with the black and yellow, and the blue yellow with the black and blue. So now, and make sure you extend it. I made mine pretty long, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put some electrical tape, just how I did the alternator. You can see it looks really nice. Now I'm gonna do the same to here, and then the same to these wires, because these are all still exposed from when I had to extend it when I put on the throttle body from the D series, remember? But anyways, so let me finish taping this up, and then we'll go to the next step. So that's how I do my wiring. So that'll be to the idle control valve. And I think that's all we had to do to cut. Looks like he cut this something. I don't know what this was for. Well, I guess we'll find out. So I'm gonna start hooking up the harness now into the block. And then all we gotta do is just drop it in. Bolt everything up, and then we can start it. I just don't have axles, so the wheels won't move. But yeah, alright, stay tuned. Yeah, and just in case, guys, because I know you might have not seen it, but I did had to cut from a 3-wire because my other camera died. I forgot. So in case you didn't see that footage, all you're gonna do is cut the orange wire off and tuck it inside the harness, like I did right here. You can see the orange right there, the wire, and I just tuck it in back there, and then just start taping the wires off, make them nice and neat like this. Don't leave them naked like this. It just looks trash. Or at least get some of these things. You can buy them at like Lowe's or whatever, these little shrink wrap things, and then wrap all your wires in those instead of using electrical tape, because when they do get warm they get mushy and it's pretty gross. But you want to at least have them somewhat protected. So yeah, you're just going to cut that wire, hide it, and then get your B series harness. Get yourself an idle control valve plug. It's a 2-wire. This one is a blue and yellow, and then a black and yellow. And just match them up with the other ones, black and yellow, and then with the other, I think it's a blue. Yeah, blue with black. So if you have any questions for that, just let me know, but it's pretty straightforward. So these are the 2 main things you changed if your harness wasn't already changed over. But yeah, pretty easy. But looks like I'm gonna I also extended this plug was missing on mine. This goes to the back of the sensor over there. I'll show you here. Goes for this plug for your oil sensor, I believe. But yeah, so I'm gonna finish up this harness. I'm gonna get it back on the motor, and then I'm gonna put the transmission in, and yeah, we should be ready to drop this thing in. Stay tuned. Hey, I also added a reverse switch. I didn't have this plug. Originally the guy had it cut off right here, and he had just straight wired to the reverse switch. So now I actually have a plug, so I can unplug it all the time now from the reverse switch on the B series transmission. So just want to let you guys know about that. Now I'm just going to finish up covering the rest of these wires, and then I'm done. And I'm going to just plug it all in, and we're going to install the transmission as well. So right now I'm taking out the the D series injectors, and I'm going to put them in the B series. So take off the fuel rails, just 2 bolts, 10 millimeters, and then pull this out, pop out all your injectors, clean them pretty good then, and then take out your B series, same thing. Alright, there you go. Here's the B series. It's 3 bolts, 10 millimeter, 1, 2, 3. You're going to want to take this fuel rail off now. Just wiggle it back and forth. I'm going to use 2 hands. But the reason why I'm changing them out is because the plugs are different. I know some of you are going to say, oh, why don't you just cut the plugs? It's because I have 550cc injectors as well, and I would just rather use that. And it's fine to use a D series on the B series motor. It's not going to have too much of a difference. They're also Y8 injectors, so I believe they're 240ccs, so it'll be completely fine for this B series. Alright, so I'm going to now pull this out and then swap in the D series injectors. Alright, here's the D series, and that's the B series. So the D series fit perfectly in. Just use the same washers that they had in it. And yeah, so here's the D series, or the B series with the washer. Just stick it on there. You want to block those holes because you don't want nothing falling down in there. And just connect everything back up like normal. Make sure all your fuel filters, they got these little filters on here, right here. Like, okay, see, here's the injector. You got this little filter. Don't lose this. Make sure they're in there. If they're not in there, do not put it in. Protects your motor, and so it doesn't get that thing clogged up. Alright, so I'm gonna finish putting in the D series injectors in the B series motor. Alright, injectors are in. Alright, now I'm gonna try to get the transmission in there. Hopefully it'll be easy. You want to line up the dowel pins. I have one in the tranny and one on the block. So in case you don't know what a dowel pin is, that. And if you don't know what a dowel pin is, you probably shouldn't be doing this. Alright, stay tuned. Oh, that was easy. Alright. So you saw, you just gotta lift it up, line it up. I'm gonna put some 2 bolts through so I can pull it closer to the block. I gotta move the piece of wood on the bottom, but yeah, that was pretty easy. Alright, I got all the wiring hooked up now. At least I hope I have it hooked up right. Now I'm just throwing the cables up over it. Transmission's all nice and bolted. I had to use some of my bolts from the tranny on this one because I was missing some. But everything bolts up now. Now I'm going to lift it and try to get it into the engine bay. Alright, so now I'm going to try to put the motor in. So it should be fine. Alright, now the motor's being held by its own weight. I still gotta install the rear T-bracket, and I'm trying to find another bolt for this side, as I don't have another bolt. I do not know where it went. So I'm gonna try using my old power steering. I think I can't use this bracket, so I'm gonna have to find a different bracket, find out which one. But for now, I'll probably have no power steering. But the motor is in. Alright, I guess the next video will be of me starting it up once it's all buttoned up. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it did help. It's pretty straightforward to install. It's basically like 4 or 5 mounts on there. Remove all of it, unplug the harness, and then just throw it over the motor. Don't do it like I did last time where I just left it in the car. Take it all the way out. It's easier. That way you can plug everything in easier as well. But yeah, all I need now is just the axles. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm pretty beat, and stay tuned for the next one. Later.